All right, welcome future financial leaders. We are about to unlock a tool that the world's most successful companies use to make absolute game-changing decisions. And trust me, it's way less about complex math and way more about a powerful new way of seeing the business world.
So I want you to think back to early 2020. Remember that? Out of absolutely nowhere, demand for toilet paper just jumped by this much. The shelves were empty, it was total chaos. Now, while a lot of companies were caught completely flat-footed, Amazon's supply chain, it seemed to react almost instantly. This was no lucky guess. Nope. They used a secret weapon to manage their inventory while pretty much everyone else was just struggling to keep up.
Or think about this one. Netflix. You know how it just knows what you want to watch? Well, they're so good at it that they can predict what you'll watch next with about 77% accuracy.
So how do they pull that off? I mean, is Netflix actually reading your mind? Okay, let's dive in. It is not magic, it's not mind reading, it is a superpower. And it's a superpower that you are here to learn. This is the skill that is going to define your career in finance and management. The secret weapon behind all these incredible feats, it's business statistics. Now, I want you to forget about boring spreadsheets for a minute. Instead, think of this as the key to unlocking smarter, faster, and way more profitable decisions. To put it simply, it's just the process of turning raw data, numbers and facts, into really smart, evidence-based business strategies. It's how you go from just looking at a huge pile of numbers to actually seeing a clear path to success. So this superpower, it really comes in two basic forms. On one hand, you've got descriptive statistics. The best way to think about this is like your car's dashboard. It tells you what happened, your current speed, your fuel level. It summarizes the past. Then you've got inferential statistics. This is like your car's GPS. It takes that data and predicts what could happen, showing you the best route and when you'll get there. It's all about forecasting the future.
So how do you actually use this power? I know it might sound complicated, but it's not about memorizing a ton of formulas. It really just boils down to a clear, repeatable process that, seriously, anyone can learn.
And this is it. This simple four-step method is the foundation for everything. First, you collect the data, gather up all the facts. Then you analyze it to find the patterns hiding inside. Step 3, you visualize it. You make charts and graphs so you can actually see the story. And finally, step 4, you decide. You make a smart, data-driven choice. That's the core loop. And as you can see, this is not just some niche skill for one department. From marketing and sales to finance and risk analysis, this four-step process is absolutely essential for any modern business that wants to succeed. Okay, let's move on and see how this all comes together in the real world of finance, where the stakes are incredibly high, and making the right call can be worth millions. So here's the crucial point. We're moving beyond just simple numbers on a page. We're not just reporting facts. What we're doing is creating actionable intelligence, insights that give us a real competitive edge. Let's take a look at Lending Club. They're a major financial company, and they were facing a huge problem that pretty much every bank and lender deals with. How do you accurately figure out the risk that someone might default on a loan? So what did they do? They started by applying our toolkit. They collected all their data, and then they moved to step 3. They visualized it. They analyzed the distribution of thousands and thousands of loans to see if any obvious patterns jumped out at them. Looking at the data visually led them to ask a really crucial question, a hypothesis they could actually test. Does a higher loan amount mean it's more likely to default? By framing the problem like this, they could use statistics to find a reliable, evidence-based answer instead of just guessing. And it's not just for big-picture risk assessment like that. This way of thinking is critical in every single department of a modern business. You've got to think of statistical analysis as the engine that powers strategic decisions everywhere. If you're in finance, you're analyzing profit margins. If you're in marketing, you're figuring out which ads actually work. Operations? You're hunting for bottlenecks. HR? Predicting employee turnover. The principles are exactly the same.
Ultimately, this brings every future business leader, and that includes every single one of you, to a really fundamental choice about how you're going to operate.
You can run on intuition, on gut feelings, or you can run on data. And the evidence? Well, it's crystal clear. Just look at this. Companies that rely on data are 19 times more likely to be profitable and 6 times more likely to keep their customers. The numbers really don't lie.
In today's business world, especially in finance, understanding and using statistics is what separates the market leaders from everybody else. It is how you win.
And that's really the key takeaway here. This is the skill that gives you the power to know, not just guess. So the choice is yours. In a world of data, will you guess or will you know?